is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Now, right off the top, 5 years after a gunman took the lives of 17 people at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, experts are in the middle of conducting a reenactment inside the school. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray has covered this story extensively for years. She reports from Parkland with the latest.
It's an extraordinary day here at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School inside the 1200 building where a reenactment is going on, mirroring what happened 5 years ago when a mass shooter entered that building and killed 17 people. Now, this is all part of a civil lawsuit against former BSO SRO officer Scott Peterson. He is being sued in civil court. He did fight and managed to win criminal charges, but however, this civil suit is outstanding. And what the families of the victims trying to prove is that Peterson should have gone into the building and confronted the shooter. Instead, Peterson has always maintained he stayed out of the building because he was not sure where the shots were coming from. So through this reenactment, it's going to be recorded, and basically it will determine could Peterson have heard the shots and know for sure that the shooting was going on inside the 1200 building. Now, after this videotaping is done, this material is going to go before a judge, and a judge will ultimately decide whether that is admissible when the civil trial gets going. We do not have a date yet for the civil trial. In Parkland, Joan Murray, CBS News Miami.
And CBS News Miami is committed to covering all aspects of this important story, but we want you to know that we have no intention of airing the sound of gunshots from today's reenactment in the Scott Peterson civil case. We want to reassure you, our viewers, and the Parkland community. We will remain sensitive to what this reenactment means to you. We also want to remind you the Broward School District has mental health resources available at browardschools.com/mental health services. Also, Eagles Haven Wellness Center will be open today through Sunday, August 6th. Free wellness classes are also available from Broward schools. And coming up at 5, we'll have more on a bipartisan congressional delegation that toured the site today, getting a first-hand look at the crime scene before it's eventually demolished.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Taking a live look outside right now. We've already had some heavy rain pass through South Florida, but will we see more coming up this weekend? Doesn't look bad there from downtown Miami right now. Next weather meteorologist Cindy Presser joins us with the details. Even some flooding already, Cindy.
We've had it all, and even right here at the station here in Doral, we had very high water trying to get into the parking lot. So yes, there were pockets of heavy rain, 1 to 2 inches, fell very quickly, and now most of these showers and storms are kind of receded. But this weekend, same type of situation. We're going to see the wind shift out of the southwest. That means storms will move here along the coastal areas by the afternoon, so we're going to see a lot of this rain. Sea breeze, yeah, that will come in and that'll produce the lift, and we're going to see a lot of rain, hot, and that wet pattern will continue all the way through the weekend into next week. So right now, we have a few storms that are redeveloping now out in the Everglades here in Broward County. Some of the storms over the metro areas, though, have now moving through from 595, Fort Lauderdale picking up some rain. These are not strong or certainly not severe. Pembroke Pines, there are a couple of showers there. This will continue to track on to the east, eventually moving off, but we'll watch those outflow boundaries across Miami-Dade. We had heavy rain around the Miami area this afternoon. We had a flood advisory. That is since now has expired at 4 o'clock, but anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain. Right here, Sweetwater, the Doral area, that's where we had that heavy rain showing up. And again, it's the low-lying areas that flood so easily. We see it time in and time again. Same thing happened here today. Temperature, though, this rain has brought down the temperature nicely. High so far today, 91 degrees. We're now back around 88 because of that rain-cooled air, but it feels like it's 101. Lots of juice, lots of humidity. That's going to be the case again as we head through the weekend. These showers will start dying off, and look at the direction there. They're moving to the east, so overnight dry. Then we get into Saturday. Already in the morning, starting to see some showers and storms. Again, we have that southwesterly flow that will push the storms toward the coastal areas by the afternoon. afternoon. So look at this. At 4 o'clock, we've got storms, then dying off for to go into Saturday night. Sunday, again, we'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms with our rain chances. The best chance tomorrow from about 11 a.m. till 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they tend to die off. So this is what's happening in the atmosphere. We've got a lot of juice here. So showers and storms clinging to the coastal areas on the East Coast. That will change next week. We'll go back to an easterly direction. So that means more general showers and thunderstorms, but tropical moisture trying to work its way in here. Highs in the low to mid 90s. Chance for storms every day.
Cindy, thank you. Tragedy after takeoff. A plane plunges to the ground in Pembroke Pines. It all happened at North Perry Airport near the 100 block of Southwest 77th Way when the plane was gearing up for takeoff. One person has been reported dead and 2 others were transported to Memorial Regional Hospital in critical condition. Authorities are now investigating what caused that single-engine Cessna to crash. Florida rapper Jamel Demons, known as YNW Melly, is ready to face a second murder trial, which just got a new start date. The retrial, originally scheduled for October 2nd, will now start October 9th. Last month, a deadlocked jury prompted a mistrial after nearly 14 hours of deliberations. Melly is being charged with the murder of his 2 friends, Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas Jr. We'll have more news when we come back. Welcome back. Former President Trump will be back on the campaign trail tonight, a day after his 3rd arraignment. Trump will headline the Alabama Republican Party's summer dinner, fresh off of pleading not guilty to 4 felony charges related to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand reports from Washington, D.C. with the latest.
Former President Trump returns to the campaign trail Friday, one day after his historic arraignment in Washington, D.C. on charges he plotted to overturn the 2020 election.
This is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America.
He briefly addressed reporters after the hearing, where he pleaded not guilty to the 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. The judge said that charge alone could carry a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. Outside the courthouse, crowds of protesters and supporters line the sidewalk, along with a heavy police presence just blocks from the U.S. Capitol. Trump is facing charges related to January 6th. Hundreds of others who were charged in connection with the Capitol attack have already received sentences for their involvement.
The government conducted an investigation, has arrested over 1,000 individuals who breached the Capitol and participated in the riot. Former federal prosecutor Scott Frederickson expects a key strategy for Trump's defense team will be to delay the case as much as possible. You know, they have a legitimate basis. This is not an uncomplicated case. It's one of the most important cases ever filed, and they want and need time to prepare. The next hearing date is set for later this month, just 5 days after the first GOP primary debate in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Class schedules for thousands of high school students could be up in the air just before the start of a new school year. The College Board says the state has effectively banned an advanced placement psychology course because it includes lessons on sexual orientation and gender identity. The nonprofit that oversees AP coursework and administers the SATs is now advising school superintendents across the state to suspend course offerings. However, the Florida Department of Education is firing back, saying the College Board is, quote, playing games. It says the course can still be offered if it meets Florida laws, which would mean excluding any mention of those topics. Now only on CBS News Miami, we're just a day away from the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement, where Dolphins linebacker Zach Thomas will take his rightful place in Canton. But the festivities are already underway, and our Mike Cunio got an exclusive tour of the hall with Thomas and his family. Here's what the legend had to say ahead of his big day.
Zach Thomas may have called South Florida home for the majority of his NFL career, but here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, he's got some new digs, and we caught up with him exclusively as he took a tour of his new football home. Sometimes you're out shooting a story on Zach Thomas, and sometimes that story comes to you. While we were at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Zach Thomas appeared for a tour with his family.
If you can play with that same passion you had as a high school senior in the pros, you're trying to get that same passion and love. And if you can play with that, you can play forever.
Well, forever is here. Zach's memorabilia is all over the place, even his high school jersey.
Look how big those shoulder pads are.
No, by the way, he was a really good running back.
I rushed for 928 yards senior year.
Zach's kids never got to see him play football, but they could hear. They were enamored with his highlights and his meticulous pregame notes.
Yeah, I did that every game, man. Like pregame notes to get your mind right. And I would always do a top 10 list.
Maybe he spilled coffee on it.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, I think.
Good call. That's coffee.
Yeah.
That's it. That's late night trying to write those notes and be like, okay, I'm getting ready for the game, and I have my coffee.
His wife Maritza and his parents were also there to see Zach bask in NFL royalty. But nothing took his breath away quite like walking into the room that will house his bust.
Oh, wow. Nice. Wow. That's surreal. That's so cool, though. I'm surprised they have room for my head right here.
Making this extra special, he's joining some of his football family like old teammates.
Yes, I want to see Junior.
He sought out the late Junior Seau and had to give the man who gave him his NFL chance, Jimmy Johnson, a quick pat on the head.
My man right there. Yeah.
Come Saturday afternoon, Zach Thomas will come face-to-face with his former coach, Jimmy Johnson, and of course that big, beautiful hair. Jimmy Johnson will be presenting him into the class of 2023. In Canton, Mike Cunio, CBS News, Miami.
So well deserved. And don't miss the premiere of Dolphins Weekly live at 11:30 this Sunday morning, only right here on CBS Miami. And 1 week from tonight, the Dolphins will kick off the preseason when they take on the Atlanta Falcons at Hard Rock Stadium. Catch all the action starting at 7, only right here on CBS Miami, your official home of the Miami Dolphins. Happening tonight, the massive Mega Millions jackpot is once again up for grabs. The jackpot is now at an estimated $1.25 billion. The jackpot's so big it doesn't even fit on the billboard there on the side of the road. Chopper 4 catching this sign along I-95 in Miami-Dade, which shows the amount still as $999 million. No one has won the grand prize since April. CBS Miami is the only place you can watch the drawing live tonight, right before the late news at 11. The power of CBS News Miami and the CBS News Miami stream are always at your fingertips. We're on Pluto TV and it is all free. Or find us on your favorite streaming device with the CBS News app. Then click on CBS News Miami. And that's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.